We're going to get started just a few minutes early since everyone has grabbed their boxes of lunch, and I want to thank you all again for coming. So the order of business, the way we're going to handle this meeting this evening is if I'm going to go according to the agenda, and if you have a question, you're going to come up and see Millie. She's going to hand you the mic. You need your lot number and your name and first name, last name, and your lot number so we can record who's speaking. If you are a guest or someone who does not reside in Palm Lakes community, you do not get an opportunity to ask a question or have a comment. So, and I say that respectfully, but this is a residence meeting. So, if you are a resident and you have a comment or you want to pose a question, you'll line up along this wall and Millie will give you the mic so that you can have an opportunity to pose whatever question you have or make your comment.
It's right there.
I want to start by saying that one thing that I did note that is not on the agenda that I do have an update on as of right before we came over here is the bingo. And I did speak with our attorney, and we will be able to start bingo tomorrow, but I do need Miriam, wherever you are, to come and talk with me in the morning.
I can't leave you alone for a month.
So we're going to start with the elephant in the room. And first, no, we're not going to start with that. We're going to start with introducing my staff. And I do have our maintenance manager who is here with us, and this is Brent. And I'm going to have him, and you guys may have seen him around the community, helping to keep our community clean and beautiful, and address repairs in the community. But I'm going to give him the mic so that he can introduce himself. If you have any questions, you're welcome to ask. And then also we have Kendra, who's our receptionist, the front desk administrative assistant, and then Millie, who's the assistant manager.
What's going on, guys? Like Peggy said, my name is Brent. I've been doing maintenance for 20 plus years. The joy to be here. I've met some of you, and yeah, look forward to keep on working. And oh, by the way, we got another tech starting this week, so if you see his face, you know why.
Hi everyone, my name is Kendra. I've been here almost, a year and a half, and it's a pleasure to work here. And those of you that have got, that I'm getting to know, that I know, it's a pleasure. And thank you.
Hi, I'm Millie. I've been in community almost 4 years now. I started with the sales, and now I'm helping with the management side for over a year and a half now.
Thank you all. And speaking of sales, you'll at least see another new face around here in about a week or so, because we did hire a new salesperson. So if you have any questions or if you're interested in selling your home and you want to use the park, we'll have a new employee who's going to put a lot of emphasis on assisting with any resident sales that we have in the community. So he'll be joining us in maybe about a week or so. So now I'm going to start with the elephant in the room, and that is our entrance gate. And I know that this has been a grueling process for you all, because it has been one for us as well. And I'm just going to give you the updates. If you have any questions, you're welcome to come over to the right and ask. But where we stand today is the north entrance gate. As of Friday, we've been advised that they have been repaired. However, all of the fobs that we issued, the RFD tags that we issued, that were new, that came in, none of those are working. So any person who got a new tag in the last couple months, we thought that they would just automatically start working when the system came back up. None of them worked, so they took them Friday with them because they have to order new ones. So if you got a tag, if you're new, you got a tag, it's not going to work. You can discard it, bring it back to Kendra, but we'll issue you a new one as soon as it arrives. This was something that just came to our attention on Friday when he fixed the gate, and he took them with him. So he did say that they're not gonna work. So when we receive them, we'll send out emails or call you again to come in and get the new ones once we confirm that when they arrive that they do work. The next thing is, although the north gate is fixed, that gate is still open because of that. We have probably some 70 residents who don't have access to the community, and we're working through, where we were hoping that those fobs would work and we could close it. But we're working through a system, and we got something that we're planning this week that will hopefully get them access to the community so that we can secure the north gate. The south gate, they installed whatever that part was that they needed to install. And he indicated that on Friday that the expansion board that operated the system that they replaced, both of the expansion boards are not working. So that gate is not repaired at this time. And as of today, I don't have an ETA. I know that the part is ordered. They haven't given me the ETA on that part. So once we receive that, then it'll get installed, and we'll see, hopefully that will resolve the issue at the north gate. The south gate. The exit gates, the rear gates were having some intermittent problems, and we thought it was associated whenever it rained, because it seemed that when it rained, that's when we had those gates that went wonky and wouldn't work, or wouldn't close or wouldn't open. We did replace a wheel on the B-line gate, which is the reason why it would close halfway. It was just something that was not working, was broken. Then it finally came all the way off, which is the last time it stuck and we couldn't get it unstuck. It was because some internal wheel was broken. So that has been replaced. But as of Friday, he made us aware that one of the wheels on the actual rolling gate is broken. It still allows it to close, but it's still broken, so he's going to be replacing that. That's pretty much the updates that I have on the gates. I know that it has been frustrating, and I assure you that it has been equally as frustrating for us in the office. Unfortunately, our contractors are working diligently to get them open, whether it appears that way or not. There are processes, there are systems, and in place. And I see you standing up, Robin, and you can come up and stand next to Millie if you have something to say. So we are, and I can appreciate your frustration. I've heard a lot, and I can understand that you're frustrated. I can assure you that no one is more frustrated than I am, because while you can complain and be frustrated amongst one another, I have to stand here and before all of you all and address an issue that I don't have any control over, but we are diligently working to correct it.
We can hear it.
A service call for,
Every time that there's a maintenance call of any kind, if there's a new car,
a maintenance call for who?
for the gates.
Yes, we do pay a service call.
So with all the maintenance calls that we had. and
We can't hear back here.
Yeah, we can't hear.
Her question was, is there a maintenance call for every time the contractors come here?
Yes, so we have to say, isn't
That
it
mic is
more
dead.
economical to just get a whole new system?
It is not. No, it is not. So, does anyone else have any questions? Because I'm going to move on to the next area, the next thing on our agenda. And we do have the meeting is over at 6, but please feel free to ask any questions that you have. The next thing, I covered the front entrance and all of the entrance gates, south, and RFD tags. the application process for the new leaseholders. I know we met with some individuals who joined us for breakfast last month, and that came up, and there was a kind of enough discussion about it that I want to recap it for anyone who's here that wasn't here, and who's looking to bring someone into their home or have someone who's going to be in the community over the 15 days or more than 30 days a year. You are required to have any persons that's going to be residing in your home to be approved by the park. And that's approved by management. One of the things that I hear that's frustrating is that that you may have neighbors who you guys don't see or don't think that we're doing anything about it. And I can only tell you that if I'm not aware of it, I can't address it. If I am aware of it and I can confirm it, because I just can't take one neighbor's word against the other, but if we can confirm it, then we absolutely do address it. I think in the year that I've been here in the community, we've had to probably evict over 4 people who refused to comply, and then the other 15, 16, they complied, moved the underage out or unapproved person out of the community. So I am committed to ensuring that we are a 55+ community. Anyone who resides in the community should be approved, and I just need your help with ensuring that that is happening here. Are we catching everybody? Probably not, because every week it's something new. Every week I'm receiving an anonymous email or getting a note or something. And trust me, if I can verify it, because I don't take those things lightly. However, I also won't address an issue that I cannot confirm. So I'm not going to just take one resident's word over another without being able to verify it. But if we are able to verify it, then we do follow the protocol, and our legal systems, what I've found in this year that I've been here, can be arduous. So it is being addressed if you brought something to our attention, and if it's been long enough, they could still be in the legal system. It could have stopped because we were told that the issue was correct and we couldn't verify it anymore. So that could be a case. So if you have reported something and you say, hey, it's been long enough and the issue still exists, either it's in our court system and or we've investigated it. They came in and said, hey, this doesn't exist at my home anymore. We fixed it. And now the person who's unapproved is sneaking in through back doors or going in however they're getting in. So it's a number of things that's happening out there. But we are addressing them as those things come, as we are made of those issues. Does anyone have any questions on that?
Yeah. I ain't getting to the mic. What if I needed a caregiver?
So what's your name, sir?
Tom Jones,
What's the lot number?
1052. What if I needed a caregiver? So it takes you at least 10 days to 2 weeks to get approved to get in here.
That's depending on your caregiver and what their application process looks like. We use a third party. Okay, there's one thing that we're going to do. Can you please step over here, because I want it to be consistent. We're going to have you come over here if you have a question and speak at the mic. Yeah.
It don't work.
Okay, Mike.
It doesn't work.
You hear me? You hear me? No. You hear me now? The question I had was a caregiver. If I need a caregiver to come in here, do I have to wait 2 weeks to 3 weeks to get approved? I'll be dead by then.
Okay, so there is a caregiver protocol in an application that your caregiver has to complete, and it does have to go through the approval process. And depending on our third-party verifier, if they come back approved without any concern, then the process is a little more seamless. If they've lived in certain states, I know the first one that comes to mind is Massachusetts. We had a person who lived in Massachusetts, and it took them almost 4 weeks for their approval to come back on their background. That's something that we don't have any control over. That's our third-party verifier. We don't have any control over that. So
there ain't no emergency.
everybody's going to go through the same process, and it has to be approved in order for them to be here.
So in other words, I can bring them in here for the first 15 days. Okay. Now I understand that.
Thank you. Does anyone else have a question with regards to the application process?
I do have a question. Your system don't work. So
System works if you put it up to the microphone top.
What's her name? You know what? Hey?
Robin.
the application process, curious on when this system had changed. I have sellers that are only going to have one applicant per a home. And that your time frame could be 4 to 12 weeks with the application. So in the meantime, these sellers cannot take another offer, even if that's more. And so it's dictated by the current applicant who is tied up for whatever reason. And in turn, the seller doesn't have the right of who they can sell to because an applicant is in the system unless they are denied and or accepted or they have to withdraw. I'm just asking. Why.
That is correct. That is absolutely
That's
correct.
a new system.
And that shouldn't be new, because fair housing says that we have to be consistent and we have to treat everyone the same. So therefore, no realtor will or can come in here and submit 4 different applications to us, and then we're going to process all 4 of them. Because applicant number 1 comes to us, they're in the application process and they're waiting due to no fault of their own and due to no fault of our own. And if you, the realtor, Robin, and I'm using you as the example because you posed the question, have another applicant on that home, then it's your responsibility to communicate with that person and say, hey, this is what it is, and if they want to withdraw, they can. However, that puts us in a position, if we say, well, you're taking too long, we're going to move to the next person. Then the person, which this has happened, says, well, I feel like I'm discriminating against. You guys want to take an application over from someone else over me, and my application is still in queue, and I don't have any control over this. So we do not take multiple applications on a home. If you're working with a prospect, then you will work with that prospect. You need to communicate with them that the application process, and it's particularly the background check can in some cases be the biggest delay. And sometimes the applicants are not getting us the information that they need in a timely manner. But the background check has been the biggest delay with some of the applications, and that's something that we don't have any control over, and neither does the applicant. One applicant said they didn't live in that state, had never lived in that state, has lived in Florida for the last 40 years. Whatever happened in the system, that was a 4-week process before our system finally approved them, and then it was after they decided to just say, hey, I'm gonna just back out so that the next person can start the application process. But unfortunately,
as a realtor, I have no communication. I'm not affiliated with you whatsoever, so that's not in void. And I feel like discrimination is against the sellers on your application process.
it's not against the seller, because our applicants and our buyers, our applicants have to go through the same process. The people that we sell the homes to have to go through the same process. So your buyer from our buyer is no different. The process is still the same.
So then why do your new buyers get approved within a week? And these
But you're speculating, and I'm not going to have a conversation with you about my buyers, Robin, because you're speculating. So does anyone else have any questions?
Yeah, I have. What about that fountain out there? When are we going to get it working?
The fountain
Yeah, that fountain out there
at the lakes.
at the lake. Over 2 months now.
What's your name and lot number, sir?
Peter pictured in a
Okay,
lot 904.
we're gonna go according to the agenda, and then we'll address the fountain. The next thing on our list is selling your home, and the next list is, sir, I just ask that you are respectful, because we're going to have this meeting, we're gonna do things decently in order, and I can appreciate that you have a question. The question is gonna be answered if you come over here and stand in the line. If you're selling your home, one of the things that I've mentioned is that we do have, Charles actually is in the back, he's our selling agent in the community. We do have a new agent that's gonna be coming into the community who's going to also be assisting with selling. So if you are interested in selling your home, then you can contact our sales team and they'll be happy to assist you. And also, if you're selling your home, it came to our attention a couple months ago that homes have to be community compliant. So if your home is not compliant, then we're not addressing those things because they've been that way and you've been here that long. But we are addressing any homes that are not in compliance. And the biggest incompliance that I think we've seen is the no carports. Most homes that we've come across have sheds, but the no carports and the no sheds, those are something that's required by the community per the prospectus, and we are holding those homeowners or those new buyers to installing the carport or working with the buyer. But you have to have the home has to have a carport in order for us to, or there has to be an agreement that you're going to install a carport before we will allow you to move forward with a home that does not have the carport or that's not in compliance.
Do you have the square footages and the building materials yet?
You can look in the prospectus, it outlines it in the prospectus, and if you want me to forward that to you, I will. The next thing on our list is our community events. I just highlighted the events that we have coming up. Next month we're having a Halloween party. Thursday we're going to have our annual Thanksgiving dinner, and Friday we're going to have a dinner with entertainment. And I'm still thinking, I don't know if it's going to be Thanksgiving or Christmas, but we're going to have a dinner with entertainment again. And I don't know what the entertainment that we're going to have, but I'm working on that as well. And then in January, I want to do a fine wine and dining experience, and I don't know how it's going to work. I have this vision in my head from something that I did at my other community, but I'm hoping to find someone who will sponsor wine, because I can't. And then we'll have a really nice dinner that's paired with the wines that they bring, and then they'll explain the wine, the history of the wine, and all of that while we dine. So that's something that I'm hoping that we can pull off, and I put it in January because I'm still working on some of the logistics with it. Yes. I don't have any dates on any of the events, specific dates yet at this moment. Oh, pullouts for 2026. So I had a meeting about a week and a half ago with corporate, and it was a wish list meeting for us, and it sounds like it may come to fruition next year. I gave them a list of every home in the community that is vacant, and they are implying that we may have them pulled out, all of them pulled out in 2026. I don't know, I really don't know all of the details of it, and I know that it will probably be done in phases, and that's what we proposed. And the decision has not been final, but it's been the topic of the conversation for the last couple months. And last week, we kind of got a little close. I was and I was able to send them every home in the community. So I'm hoping that that's a project that we can pull off next year. I don't know, but I feel hopeful.